Hey everybody, guess who got their Skycurser kit in the mail? Let's head upstairs and unbox it. Alright, so here we are in the kitchen of a lemon tree, or my house. And I'm going to go over how to unbox Skycurser. So I got this box in the mail yesterday, and I've covered up all of the shipping details, but we've got an address here. Phil Golubish, who is one of the 3 dudes that works on Skycurser. So we had an opportunity to talk at CAX. Unfortunately, like I said in my last video, I didn't end up getting any audio from that. But I introduced myself and I said, you may know me as Lemony Vengeance, and his eyes lit up and said, oh my gosh, I've got your kit at my house right now. We're just waiting on a couple of things, but we are going to get that shipped out to you, and as promised, it was shipped out on the 2nd. Today is the 8th, I think. Yeah. Yes. No, it's the 9th. So I ended up getting it yesterday. FedEx was incredibly awesome. They delivered it at 7:15 p.m. And I was already out for the night. So sat on my doorstep. Luckily, I live in a good neighborhood. So anyway, we're going to go over how to open up and unbox Skycurser itself. Now, the things you're going to need 1 Skycurser kit, like this. You're going to need your favorite cutting utensil. I chose a knife. This is a steak knife from my silverware drawer. And you're gonna need to choose a libation of choice. I chose Pepsi. Some of you might want to choose something a little bit more adult. That's fine. I know what you're saying. Ugh, Pepsi. I agree. You know, Pepsi isn't necessarily the best choice, but it could be worse. It could be Coke. Insert laughter here. All right. So, step 1: crack open the tasty beverage. Try not to spill it on yourself. Dang it. Alright. Step 2, have a seat. And get your knife and begin opening up. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to share a little bit of the interview that I had with Phil. Because a few of you said, well, why don't you recreate the video and dub over lines in the silence. And I was like, I don't think that'd be really respectful for Phil. So I'm just going to share a couple of things we talked about. So we talked about a couple of the new features that are coming up into Skycurser. There was talk previously of online leaderboards for the game, and they said, Phil said that's being actively worked on. He doesn't have a time frame for that, but it will be coming very soon. We also talked about new games that are coming out for Skycurser, for the Airframe hardware itself. And while he wasn't at liberty to give me the name of this new game, he did let me know that there will be another game coming out very soon. And of course that led to the discussion of pricing for games on Airframe. Again, it wasn't necessarily something I could pin him down on, but he did say that it would be dependent upon the type of game that was going to be released. So if it was a game that was equivalent to like a AAA title for consoles or PC, cost a little bit more than say like a simple puzzle game or something like that. So, but as you can see, here is the Airframe kit. I'm gonna have to do this upside down so that you guys get to see what's happening here. So as you can see, the box says Airframe. It says Griffin Aerotech right here on the side. You got the Airframe logo here on the sides as well. So, alright, so I'm gonna open this sucker up. It's not really so much of a how-to, I was trying to make a joke. So, step whatever, remove the Airframe box from the outer sheath and then proceed to open it up. So you'll see the move strip is in there. This move strip is sized for Japanese arcade cabinets. It's got, you know, basically the small story. It's got tips and tricks. It talks a little bit about the firing mechanism and whatnot. It also has a marquee poster, which will be going into the marquee for my new Astro City, the marquee holder for that. And it is not laminated. Oh, it looks like there are two separate ones. So we've got this one with Gaki on it, and then you've got this other one with Gaki on it as well. So suitable for framing. The quality of this poster, very, 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 very professional print job on heavy cardstock, as you can see. Yeah, like I said, this one is going to be going in the marquee holder for my new Astro, and this one is going to be framed and put up in my arcade. So here we've got the Airframe instruction manual. So it just goes over introductions, talks about if you have any problems, this is how you reach support. This griffinaerotech.com/support-desk. Talks about the contents, Airframe system board, which is right here, USB Wi-Fi adapter with an antenna, mounting screws, the artwork, and the software. So notice how they say artwork optional, software optional. It looks like this is designed to not only be sent with the game, it's also designed to be sent on its own. So it appears as though purchasing the Airframe hardware is going to be possible on its own. It talks about installation. It's designed to be plug and play. So basically, I'm going to read that really quick. Airframe is designed to be plug and play with JAMA compatible arcade cabinets. It uses USB flash drives for game distribution and either RGB or HDMI video output depending on the game. So for example, Skycurser is a game designed for CRT monitors that receive standard resolution RGB signals. I'd actually asked Phil about that while I was at CAX, and I said specifically, so will Skycurser be able to be played on an HDMI widescreen? And he said no. Skycurser is locked in at 240p, and it will only output at 240p. So now, whether or not your HDMI screen is compatible with 240p, that's another story. I'll test it out, give it a shot. So it talks about installing Airframe and a compatible game, which is pretty much pretty much self-explanatory. If you know how to plug a USB in and attach a JAMA harness, there you go, dude. So boot up and shut down. During CRT output, a sequence of seemingly scrambled lines and interference during boot time is normal, don't be alarmed. Airframe is designed to be powered on and off by standard JAMA compatible arcade cabinets with a typical on-off switch. So you don't have to worry about like soft booting it or soft shutting it down, that type of thing. no need to go into the menu and choose shutdown. So let's see. Oh, a big old warning here. Guys like me laugh at this stuff, but something I'm definitely not going to be doing. But the Airframe board is not user serviceable. So, like I said, guys like me look at that type of stuff and laugh. But I'm gonna read it. Airframe board is not user serviceable and is not intended to be opened or repaired in the field. An opened airframe presents a shock hazard that may be harmful or fatal. Never open the airframe. And I think that's just boilerplate. Don't be an idiot type thing. So, let's see. Warranty claims will be reviewed by Griffin Aerotech and fulfilled at Griffin Aerotech's discretion, which I think is very important to realize. So let's see. Airframe is designed to work with JAMA compatible arcade cabinets. However, compatibility is not guaranteed with individual cabinets. Compatibility errors may include, but are not limited to, accepting and registering concurrency, power regulation, input controls, video and sound output, etc. So again, boilerplate stuff. They do have a link for the manual if you want to check it out online. It is right here. So I think that is enough with the manual. Let's take a look at the gear itself. So I was hoping I actually got this before CAC so that I could have Phil and Chris, if he were there, sign it for me. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening, so I'm gonna have to catch up with them sometime. But on the top, you've got the Griffin logo and serial number of the airframe itself. The container, the enclosure is pretty rigid, very solid plexi. So here's what the base looks like. Very well put together. It looks like they had a CNC machine go through and perform the etching on here for HDMI. Also on the Airframe logo back here. It's not printed on there. The front, you've got a volume knob, and you've got the USB port where the game goes, as well as Wi-Fi, and yet to be described auxiliary. I wonder if they are going to allow you to do multiple games plugged into the same thing, kind of like a Neo Geo 2 slot. But you also have a JAMA edge right here, and yeah, looks to be. And if you peek inside, you get to see how the sausage is made right there. A little bit of a peek. So I'm wondering. So they probably covered up a couple of the bolts underneath here, and here. That's what I would do if I were doing this. So that's the hardware itself. You have a copy of the game on a USB drive right here. So Skycurser. It looks like this is going to be the method of distribution for most games, which cuts down on hardware costs significantly. These USB drives can be really inexpensive. That way you don't have to worry about producing a cartridge every single time you put together a game. So we have a Panda wireless, looks like a wireless N wireless adapter as well. Try and get that up there so you can see it. So, and it comes with the antenna as described. And we've got some screws here to mount it into a cabinet, which is really handy. Usually I end up reusing the screws that are already inside my mounting boards. But there are a lot of cabinets out there that don't have those screws. So What I really like about the way that they packaged this is not only the fact that it came with all of the necessary stuff, of course, but also the fact that it came in such an attractive box and with all of the packing material you need in order to repackage it when you're done playing it, if you ever become done playing this game, of course, and put it on your shelf. I hate to make comparisons, but I can totally see later on in the future the possibility of these Airframe boxes becoming something of value if they ever become scarce. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Lemony, let's not be too hasty here. This is just a box. It's true. Unfortunately, there are also a market for boxes made by AMI Cave. So, and those boxes, pieces of cardboard, go for, you know, $100 or so, because people want to be able to have that full kit filled. So, anyway, to repackage it, place the Airframe in first. Grab your sundries, throw it in there. Grab the foam that was on the sides, and then bingo bango, you've got yourself something that, if taken care of, is going to last you the rest of your life. I would personally like to thank the team at Griffin Aerotech. I haven't met the third guy yet, but Chris and Phil, thank you very much for, and like I said, the entire team for putting together something that we in the home arcade community have been hungering for years, which is a brand new game designed specifically for JAMA hardware rather than just a port. It's refreshing. It's nice to see that we have a game to call ours that's not going to be pushed out to any other medium. So I would also like to thank them for their patience with me and with the rest of the community as things are worked out, tests are done, everything else is taken care of with the game. So I look forward to not only playing this in my arcade at home, but also installing it into the arcade at my office for my team to enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have an opportunity to, please like the video, share, subscribe, do whatever, or don't, because ultimately I'm not going to be pandering for likes. I'm not going to try and get people excited to watch my channel. But if you like it, please show it on the video itself. I'm available here on YouTube, of course, as you're watching my video. I'm also available on Facebook, facebook.com/LemoneyVengeance, as well as Instagram and Twitter as @LemoneyVengeance. And man, talk about professional production quality. Maybe I should like set my phone to mute or something, or not have it turned on while I'm filming. Yeah. Anyway, please, if you like what you've seen, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I'm always sharing pictures and short videos and video game related stuff. So thank you very much. Happy gaming.